Okay, we're in the garage now. So what I need to do is to transform the wood that I've got into this kind of material here. So this is a piece of the timber that's come out from the floor. So as you can see, it's got a tongue and groove section. The groove's been a bit cut off, but it's 80 millimeters width and it's 18 millimeters in thickness. I bought some oak. This is American oak, and what you can see is that it's 95 millimeters across and it's 20 in thickness. So both dimensions are too large for what I need, and I've got a bit here that I'd bought previously. So this is a really nice piece of timber, but it does need to be reduced down in size so it fits. Now if I just put one on top of the other, you can see that it is too broad and it's too thick as well. So I need to take a couple of millimeters off the thickness, and what I will use is my thicknesser planer, which I've got. Now it's a thicknesser planer because it does two different things. First, it's a planer. So if I take this off, this is a dust extractor, which is also a safety feature. And so what this does, the way it works is there is a spinning blade here, and it's too stiff to actually move, but this spins around at a considerable rate of knots, and it's not the sort of thing you'd want to get your fingers anywhere near. So there is this thing which can slide across, and then that covers it up if for whichever part you don't want to use. What you would not want to do is accidentally put your hand on top of it whilst it's spinning round, and as you can see, it's not plugged in right now, so I'm quite safe. Oh, you'll also see what I built yesterday, which is a nice little stand for it to go on. So this is got cross pieces to stop it flexing in any direction. So it's actually really stable. And what I did was I put some little wheels at the front, so I can simply utilize the handles that I've made and wheel it around and get it out of the way and put it wherever I want. So what you can do is you can use it as a planer, and the way that works is by adjusting this knob here, the red knob, and by moving that around, it moves one of the tables relative to the other, and you can see that the distance between them is indicated on the scale on the left. So this can be just taking a millimetre off, and this fence on the right hand side can move so that it'll either be vertical or it can swivel through an angle if you wanted to put a bit of a chamfer instead of a right angle on the piece of work. Now the other way that it can work is by a thicknesser, and that is operated from down here. So you can see that there is a gap here, and there is at the top there is a crank, and by turning the crank you can move the table up and down so that you can get whatever thickness you want. And it's fairly straightforward to use. It's fairly noisy, and one of the things that didn't occur to me until I started to try and use it, I couldn't make it work for half an hour, is that if you're using the thicknesser, then the dust extractor must go on top here, like so. And once that's in place, then there's a small micro switch which is activated, and that will allow the machine to work and be a thicknesser. To use it as a planer, the dust you bring the internal table all the way down and fit the dust extractor onto that. That operates a separate micro switch and allows it to operate as a planer. So it's only one or the other at any one time, just for safety. But it's a very nice piece of kit. And what I do is I just take off small amounts each time and make repeated passes, and that way you get a better finish. And over here on the right hand side you can see my dust extractor, which is also very noisy. So it's all systems go when that's working. So what I'll do is I'll set it up and I'll mill a piece. Well, I'll mill all three pieces down to the required thickness.